Hey guys, I am re-adding everybody because my computer decided to do a system update in the middle of a live show, which I'm totally pissed about. Sorry, 1 second here, Amanda. Book. Amanda's bookshelf. Hey. Sorry.
It's okay.
This is terrible.
It really is. YouTube has it out for us today.
I'm just re-adding everybody right now.
I'm just gonna like send the link to everybody in the.
Could you do that? Could you do that? Thank you. Yeah. Oh my God, this is terrible.
It is. YouTube is just not having it. YouTube does not support mental health.
I know. It's demonetizing our video.
Yeah. Is it just the link like on top of the because like on my window is like a link right there, so I just did that one. I don't know if that's the one or not.
All right, Emma's back.
Well, perfect. Yay.
And we're
like
back.
A quarter of every.
I was just saying I didn't notice how much margarita I had until I stood up and I was like, whew. Please drink responsibly, guys. I'm at home with my dog. I can do this. Maris just got here. Hey, Maris. She's here.
I don't even know which one I'm signing under anymore.
Are we back live on the same thing or are we on a different thing?
No, we're on a different thing. It's different. It's different.
Oh, yikes.
I know.
Oh, should we put it in the chat?
Yeah, I'm going to send like the link to everyone in the other chat.
Wait, Average Joe Reed's put, I've been refreshing for several minutes, so I don't know if it's like showing up as
Send them the new chat link, please.
No, like as in on the actual live that's live. They're saying like
closed. Fuck everything.
The link to whatever is popping up currently.
Oh shit, we're live. I'm cursing like a sailor.
Literally my channel like slogan is swearing.
Everyone's back.
Are we still on Kevin's channel?
Yeah, we're on Kevin's channel.
Yeah, we're on Kevin's channel. He got it back up.
I didn't take over. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing.
We're now all under Emma's control.
I'm gonna create a new
You don't want to be under my control.
Because we all know you Scots are mean.
So my computer decided to do a system update in the middle of our live show.
Oh, fuck off, computer.
I'm serious.
Like if you don't
Joe explained it was refreshing his sub feed.
Okay, I fixed it.
Ben, do you have the link? Can you share it to Twitter?
Yeah, for the live show or the actual thing. Oh yeah, I got y'all.
The actual like, YouTube video
for the thing for everybody to like rejoin us.
I'll be like, this is the new live show.
We're here.
It's a scavenger hunt. They have to find us.
If you want to see this, you got to be prepared.
Find the girl with the margarita, and you shall win. Guys, this was so much fuller when we started. I just want to say. Oh wait, ASMR coming for Mel's brand.
I love it.
Coming
that
from Melanie.
actually gave me a shiver, and it wasn't even that ASMR.
You know I got
it. My video, like, how can I go on the YouTube? Do you guys see the YouTube chat?
Hold on,
I can see it. Like I've got it on my phone.
I had it. I think I sent the link to the chat.
Can you link it?
Oh wait, hold on. We're here. We're here. I hear someone pouring alcohol. Alcohol, that's me.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure we're here because I've seen myself moving, I think.
We're here. It's live.
I see myself moving.
I don't know what happened, but we back. Guess who's back?
Back again.
I've had too much margarita. Guess who's back?
I've had no alcohol.
Getting that in me. It's 5 o'clock.
Shady's back.
See,
wait, Maris, can you do that dance move one more time just so I can see it? Beautiful.
What happened?
It's like the whitest girl dance.
Yeah, it's my computer.
No, it's full white girl dance.
Like, heard us saying I heard Mara saying like, "I'm done, everything's done," and it was just like, "Yeah, I agree." So like, there's just on a spiritual level.
Me with most of my life.
Okay, I think we're back, and then
We're back and we're good.
What I was saying was, you
everybody
don't
back?
need a diagnosis to be depressed.
Someone in the chat, middle shelf, just said YouTube making it difficult to talk about mental health, just like society.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Someone
Exactly,
give
everybody is
Middle
back.
Shelf an award. Also, hold on.
Welcome
I'm going
back.
to make everybody's day. Nope, she ran away. I was going to make everyone's day by showing you Artie, and then she ran away.
I was looking at the picture.
I was going to be like, we can sacrifice this live show with a dog, and then nothing. Thanks for
Artie
nothing. I
doesn't
also
care about
pooped on my
that.
floor.
And if you
Literally
guys
while I
want
was
to
gone.
go ahead and retweet this new link, that would be
I
great.
did.
I did.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and do that.
I gotta delete my other tweet with my other one because that way people don't go there and get confused.
That's smart. I'm gonna do that too.
Yikes. I think I already did. Did I? I can't remember. I'm tired.
Oh, I don't know.
You're tired. It's 1 a.m.
You're freaking
I know.
retweet. We are live and most of us are visually impaired. I am screaming.
The blind leading the
Anyone that's
blind.
still watching, God forbid.
Thank you.
When Kevin left, we all noticed we were all wearing glasses. So I believe it was Maris that was like, look at all these visually impaired people. We were all like, it's the blind leading the blind.
It's like the new book club.
Yeah,
We all
exactly.
get Kindles and put it on the biggest text possible.
Well, there was
Large
like this
print
awkward lull, and I was like, well, look at this.
Oh,
It was like, because we were all trying to figure out how to help Kevin like get on live. And then all of a sudden we just hear Maris, look at all these visually impaired people.
It was Amanda and I. You all left, and like we'd both been on a different webpage and turned back and we were like, oh, the stuff.
There's no such thing as too much margarita, Kerri. Mayla's coming for my life. Bless. Literally, there's so many booktubers that I would like want to get drunk with and like go party.
Honestly, same. I want that in my life.
Girl, what if I told you I have a beach condo you can come to?
Oh my gosh. That would be amazing.
Everybody show up.
About me.
Next live is just going to be all of us drunk, just like.
Let's drink and cry, everybody.
Well, Chelsea and Julie used to do that drunk live show, and I was always so jealous.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm going to get my booze. Doing it. 1 second.
Get it.
Joe has picked up on the slip where we were all trying to figure out how to help get Kevin off. Please tell me that's not just a phrase in the UK. Good, you all get
No,
it.
that means we were.
I said that earlier today.
I was gonna say that means we were helping him masturbate. That's what that means. I meant to say on live. Oh, Maris is gonna come back and not have any fucking idea what I just said.
oh.
Please tell me she just came back to you saying help Kevin masturbate.
I was just taking that literally.
I just dropped like everything.
I've had 6 margaritas. Joe, don't come for my ass, okay? You're lucky I'm speaking
not
English
coming
and not
for you.
Spanglish at this
You
point.
made it worse.
Kerri, that's even worse than innuendo.
That was even worse.
We're all over here with my margarita. No one can yell at me anymore.
There you go. That's a little bit better.
It's sort of like when you give a kid like a cookie and you're like, go in the corner, be quiet. Like that's me with
I'm
my
getting
drink.
like margaritas all over me now.
What margarita are you drinking, babe?
A bad one, a cheap one.
Jose Cuervo?
Yeah.
Same. I've got the pink lemonade margarita. For anyone of drinking age, this shit's beautiful. AKA not you, Ben. Sorry, I see you looking at me with your deadpan face.
If Ben comes to Scotland, he can have a glass of wine or beer with a meal, just saying. Or you can drink in private homes, because we let you drink from like 5.
Hey, we can drink at 16. I watch all my UK friends just living it up. And I'm over here in the US, can't do anything yet.
It's
This is
okay.
less classy than yours, but it's gonna work.
All I'm saying is when you turn 21, we're all going to get lit at one time. So that's going to be beautiful.
Ready for it.
Kevin, is everything good to go?
Yeah.
I see you looking.
we are.
Okay.
We are. So we left off on Maris, and then let's move right on into Emma. No
Hi.
pun intended. Haha. Okay. Anyways,
I'm ready for the tea.
So yeah, for those of you that are just joining us, sorry for that little technical difficulty. My laptop decided to do a system update in the middle of our live show. How rude. I think it was actually YouTube trying to like not let us talk about mental health. Yeah, YouTube, listen.
Listen, YouTube.
Okay.
We're
And yeah. So once again, you guys, for those of you who are just joining us, there are trigger warnings for a lot of stuff.
Everything.
Is it still in the description?
Oh yeah, you need to put that back in the description.
Suicide, sexual trauma, depression, severe anxiety, agoraphobia, depression, anxiety, panic attacks. I said that like twice. Self-harm, eating disorders, suicide, domestic abuse. And there are hotlines. I have to put them back on in the chat room real quick. And I'll do that. So yeah, just be aware of that. And before, there's 3 people left, Emma and Amanda and Binta. And before they go up and speak, they will be giving trigger warnings for what they have in their personal stories. So just be aware of that, and you're welcome to leave the chat or mute the chat for a little bit and come back if you want. Yeah, and that is it. So why don't you go ahead and start, Emma?
Okay, so first off, I'm Emma from Emma Novella. Just plug in there. And trigger warnings, anxiety, depression, panic attacks, eating disorder, disordered eating, that's the phrase, self-harm. I think that's it. I hope that's it. If I think of others, I will tell you. So I have been thinking for a while, like, how to start this off, like, where do I start with this? And then I realized that I don't really have a starting point. I have just always been messed up in the head. Let's go with that. I was always a super shy kid, and you know, I was always just told, like, oh, you're just shy, you're just quiet, blah blah blah, and I just kind of went with it. And then by about the age of 10, 11, getting ready to move up to high school, I was just a stress ball. I was so anxious all the time. In fact, even younger than that, so like primary 5, I would be about 7. I have distinct memories of sobbing in the living room in my school uniform, my dad's getting ready to take me to school, and me just being like, please, can we just not go? I don't feel well, I don't want to go. And basically forcing him to let me skip school. And this got really bad in high school. I was in about 3rd year, so that would be freshman year for all you Yanks over there. And I had like a 20% attendance at one point because I just did not go to school. I was constantly just hoping that I was going to be ill, that I literally used to wish that I would like fall down the stairs and break my leg so I could just not go. And that was just purely due to a lot of anxiety about just being in the building with all these people. And I never really understood it. And that then led to depression and just the good old feeling like crap all the time. And I tried going to doctors and shit, like, you know, saying something like, hi, help me. And in the UK, our mental health service is abysmal. You know, we are incredibly lucky that we have the NHS and we can go and see a doctor for free. We can get operations and treatment and everything for free. And in Scotland, we get our prescriptions for free. But at 14 years old, it was, you can't be stressed, you can't be depressed, there's nothing wrong with you. I would eventually get like, so right, you can go to this volunteer group and they'll talk to you and they would be like, no, you don't have suicidal thoughts, so you're fine. And I even had one GP turn around to me and say that I was just too cool for school, that I thought I was better than everything and I was trying to victimize myself. So after that appointment, I literally left the doctor's office sobbing, and for about a year or 2, I just bottled everything up. I didn't even like say to my mum, like, this is what's going on, this is what I'm struggling with. I just thought, you know, this professional has told me that I'm fine and this is all just me being stupid. And that was really hard to deal with. You know, I had my friends around me telling me that, you know, there was nothing wrong and like, I have this worse and all that stuff. So it very much became something that I had tried to talk about and then turned into, I'm keeping this to myself. So I somehow got through high school and I ended up in 2014 getting a job at Waterstones, which is a UK bookstore, kind of like Barnes & Noble. And oh my God, I loved it, right? And I was there for 2.5 years before I got basically like shoved out by management because they just didn't understand. I had about 2 breakdowns in the space of 3 or 4 months. One was on Christmas Eve 2 years ago. I can't even remember what happened, but I remember being in the back room just sobbing, feeling like, you know, everything was just pointless. And I ended up never going back into the job, to the point like I was getting signed off and my doctor was like, I'm signing you off, you cannot go back in. And I was put on medication, I was on sertraline, and it was just horrible. It made me so tired all the time. I like just was so numb to everything. I went through a stage of not eating. So like I just decided like I'm not going to eat. I'm just going to like have a bowl of cereal to appease people, and I'll just like hide up in my room. I would binge eat. I was telling you guys in the private chat that I had my like drawer of snacks, and that would be me at night, just like, oh, I haven't ate, I'll just have like 10 chocolate bars. And it was just not good. And then that's, what was that, 2.5 years ago. I haven't been in employment since. I spent about a year or 2 years really just struggling with everything, trying to like figure things out. The meds that I was on were not helpful. And then I was slowly getting taken off them this year. And in December, I was off them for about a week and I hit rock bottom. I legitimately was like this close to like suicidal thoughts. It was the closest I've ever been. I used to like pinch myself and stuff to like just feel something other than numb, but this was me sitting and being like, what is the point in everything? Like, I don't see the need to be here. And I would just sit and think, you know, you haven't had a job in however long and you can't cope with like a normal working system and everything. And it just got to the point where you know, we're going to the doctor. And luckily, you know, she took one look at me and was like, right, we're putting you on fluoxetine, which is Prozac. And it has been a game changer. This is a medication that has turned me into like I've always been pro-med, but this is the one where I'm like, listen, if you're on meds and they make you feel like shit, please keep going back and trying something else, because I was so numb, so lethargic. I took these meds and within a week, I was actually getting out of the house and doing stuff, and that has been so surreal. The only downside is that it has brought out other symptoms that I wasn't fully aware of before, and those symptoms kind of bring me full circle into why I've always been that shy, anxious kid. And I'm actually awaiting referral to the mental health team. And this is the first time I'm actually saying this to like anyone, because I was going to do a video on my channel about my mental health story once I had a diagnosis, but like I want to share it with you guys now because that's what we're here for. I have been told that pretty much my doctor wanted to refer me for a diagnosis. Kate's got someone walking in the background. So my doctor, I've said for months that there's been years, there's something else going on in my head other than just depression and stuff. I've always felt that there was just something completely different. And then it was this one day my doctor said, I think this is what's wrong with you. And it was like a light bulb. I was like, this is it. And I've done research and I think it is true. As I say, I'm waiting on diagnosis. And that is for the autism spectrum. And it is crazy to be 22 years old and being told, hey, we're going to diagnose you with something that is usually found in kids, something that you needed help with all throughout school, the thing that made you struggle in school and not do as well as you could have, the reason that you couldn't succeed in employment, you know, we're going to help you now, but actually there's no help for adults really. And it's so like refreshing and what's the word I'm looking for, like relieving to know that like this is why I have had these struggles, this is why I've been depressed, because I've basically normal people, neurotypical people fit in a box and autistic people don't. But in 22 years, I have had my bones broken to fit into this box. So although I can fit into it and I can act like a functioning human being, I'm not comfortable. And it's just trying to kind of break out of it and accept that I can be neurodiverse and I can behave the way that I need to behave to not like break down. So yeah, I don't know how to end it, but that's kind of the sort of full circle of it. I guess that actually, I know where to go with it. This fucking book, people. Kerri knows what's coming.
We were talking about this on Twitter. Oh my gosh, give me the tea. Give me tea. I'm pouring tea.
Oh my god, legit. That is not tea, hon. You can try and convince me it's tea, but it's not. So yeah, whilst I'm waiting on my like referral and my diagnosis, I've been like, hey, I'm gonna, like Kevin was saying, kind of do like holistic things, and rather than like, obviously I'm on meds, but like I want to do as much as I can for myself. This book is a piece of fucking trash. Like, it has good things in it, like don't hold on to negative thoughts and shit, but then it's like, don't take meds, they make you numb. When actually, for me, I found a med that made me alive and actually brought out my autistic traits and allowed me to say yes. Because at first I was like, I do think I'm autistic, but I don't think I'm autistic enough, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as enough. But then the minute that I was on this new med and I was like human again, I was like, why is everything a sensory overload? Why is this bothering me? And I was like, oh, like my mom was getting so frustrated. She's like, Emma, why are you being so grumpy and like rude? And I'm like, not this. I was like, it's the traits. I am grumpy and rude because of this. But one thing that I'm going to bring up, and I don't even know if I'm running over my time, but you guys will all understand my gripe with this in a minute. There's a girl they talk about who's 22 and a vlogger and has dissociative personality disorder, and the people in this book legitimately turn around and say she's only disassociating because she's online, and they like try and claim that if you're talking in person you'll get better, and I'm just like, right, meds are fine, people's diagnoses are not a joke, and yeah, that has nothing to do with me personally. I have to bring up. So yeah, too long, didn't read. I was always shy, depressed, and anxious, and that's because the mental health system is fucked and couldn't diagnose me because they don't diagnose girls with autism. They look at the boy traits and go, you don't have that.
You're absolutely right.
Not better.
Yeah. Also, that book sucks because, like, online, I feel like being online has helped me acknowledge my mental illness way more than being in person, you know?
And what got me is it was published last year, so it's not like it's a 5, 6, 7-year-old book that just didn't know better.
What?
So
Screaming.
Wow.
My mom's asleep in the next room and just messaged me like, Emma, you're being too loud, and I'm just like throwing books everywhere. I'm like,
literally, Arnie's running around the house like, "Are you good?" And I'm like, "No, go back to your corner."
My dad keeps on knocking on my door like, "Hey, I got the creamer."
I got the creamer. You told him you had the creamer.
I know, but he didn't listen.
I hope the person who wrote that, I don't know if you said this because I keep going in and out like brain wise, but like, did you say that did they have any credentials?
I don't even think so. There's two guys. There's an English guy and a Scottish guy. The English guy has written like 30
thing, like PsyD or PhD next to their name.
Fuck no.
Then they're shit.
Okay.
No.
Can I say if they did have that, then
anyone
we could like go for
put
them.
that on there.
The book is about like finding your purpose in life and stuff, and they do have some good points. The problem is they then delve into the mental health aspect, and they say themselves like, we're not doctors. I'm like, well, don't fucking talk about it.
Exactly. Okay.
Don't start telling people not to take meds. Like, shut up. Tell people how to be happy by like one of the things they talk about is like toilet roll. How people get annoyed if it's going over or under, like if it's the wrong way round, and they were like, just don't be mad about it. And I'm like,
that's something that the publishing industry needs to regulate more, because anybody can say jack shit. I could write a book and say the grass is blue, the sky is green, and no one's gonna fucking fact check me. Like, come on.
Speaking of toilet roll, I have the best.
Send me that.
Courtesy of my dad.
I'm gonna put that in like all of my work, like bathroom.
Yeah,
I'm joking, but I'm not.
I want to use that.
I love it. I do that here because like every single, like the majority of the cars have a Trump bumper sticker on them.
Oh, girl, trust.
Around
Every time I pull into my parking lot, I'm like,
I was driving through Texas and I have a Bernie Sanders. I used to have a Bernie Sanders sticker on mine, and some old man came up to me and he said, "You're gonna have to burn your car." And I'm like, oh,
I'm gonna have to burn you, sir. Light him on fire.
exactly.
It's kind of funny though, because it's like, you know, the feel the burn.
Feel the burn.
I'm just reading some of the chat comments, and Hufflepuff reader, I feel ya. They were diagnosed, wasn't diagnosed, well, I can't speak. They weren't diagnosed with dyslexia until they were 15 because it's a boy disease, and it's like.
Also, same. I didn't know I had dyslexia until I went to college, and someone's like, "Do you know that you guess most of your words?" And I'm like, "I do know, but nobody will test me for it."
That's so.
I do that.
That's just something. If you are a female and you are trying to get a diagnosis for something that is wrong, and people keep telling you that nothing is wrong, but you feel that something is wrong, trust your fucking gut. Keep going to doctors, because the medical field is insanely sexist. And I'm going to get on my like women's college graduate soapbox here. But like,
I went to one too. I understand. Go for it.
Girl, where did you go? Where did you go?
Converse College, and it's like a very small female college in South
Oh no,
Carolina.
girl, I know where you are. I went to Salem College.
Oh, okay, I got
so
you.
like,
Okay.
yeah, we got each other.
Yeah.
Okay, but the medical field is incredibly sexist, especially when it comes to women taking like control of their own bodies and their own mental health. So if they keep telling you that there's nothing wrong with you, but you know for a fucking fact there is, keep going to doctors. There's always going to be more to go to.
It's taken me nearly 10 years to have someone say, like, you know, this is what's going on. Like, you need to leave your job. You need to do this. And in fact, like, I was so ready just to be like, I'm never going to know. And it's infuriating because I know that, like, you know, I've been waiting for this referral since like the end of October, middle of November. And it's going to take months more before they're like, hey, we'll come and see you. And then, we'll think about this. And it's that sort of way where it's like, you know, I needed the support in school, and there's not really much they can do for me now as an adult, purely because there aren't any adult, like, help out there.
Yeah.
But just being able to say to people, like, hey, I'm autistic, like, this is why I act the way I do, is just so, like, like, I literally felt a weight. The minute I remember sitting in that doctor's office and her saying the words that I had thought for so long, and literally, like, it's such a cliche, and I hate it when cliches are true, but I like, so much weight came off. I was like, oh.
I feel it. I honestly do. And like talking about like women, for the longest time, when I was telling people that I just don't feel good, like I don't feel right all the time, people always tell me like, oh, you must be on your period. You must be
Where are you in your cycle?
Here's the hilarity. I get that all the time, but I'm on a pill because, like, mines were horrific. Sorry, Kevin and Ben. Just get to hear womenly issues.
Listen, you're in the minority. You can deal.
Yeah. I literally, so they were so bad for me that I went on to literally have them here, the pill, like the contraceptive pill, but I'm allergic to estrogen. So if I have the combined one that you usually would take, I get killer migraines and want to die. So I'm on like the one you just take all the time, and I've literally not had a period in like 2 or 3 years. So when people are like, you're on your period, I'm like, you can shut the fuck up, because I can assure you I'm not. It's like the only person that's going to be bleeding is you, and I stab your eyes out.
I hate it when people automatically go to the excuse, oh, you're on your period. Hell no, get out of here.
See,
I'll show a tampon up your ass experience.
But Cait, in college, because we were all fucking synced, like we never had to ask, are you on your cycle? Because we all knew
everybody
who was and who wasn't.
It was funny because you move into your dorms, and when we did our apartments, you know, there's 4 people in an apartment. Everybody was like, who has the, like, what was it? The alpha cycle.
Like the alpha cycle. My roommate had an alpha cycle. She messed me up.
See, I did, but like they didn't know it was me. And because I never talked about it, and I was like, ha ha ha.
Well, because you don't know until other people change. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And I was like,
my roommate had the alpha cycle.
Min Kobayashi said that she thinks in Canada they do the opposite. They're ready to diagnose mental health, like so much, like really quickly. And actually, that's a good point. In the UK, they will very quickly say like, "Oh, you're depressed." Like I was always told, like, one thing they did do when I was like 14, 15 was like, oh, you're just a bit anxious, but like you're not suffering anything. They do quite like to kind of throw words at you. And the doctor that says like, oh, I think you're autistic, I've been seeing her for about, the 2 years since I left my job. And it's taken her seeing me consistently to say, oh, I think maybe then like it's not a phase, this is actually like what's going on. So like they will diagnose the common things that are easy to deal with. Like, we can give you beta blockers for anxiety, we can give you an antidepressant, but when it comes to anything like OCD or anything, they're just like she actually said to me once, oh, it sounds like you could have a bit of OCD. Or no, she didn't even say it to me, it was someone else. I went to a counselling session, that was another fucking story. But the counsellor said, oh, it sounds like you could have OCD. So I brought it up to the GP and she went, probably. Like, how is that helpful?
Are you ready to move on, everybody?
It's 1 a.m. I am like fired up. Someone shut me
ready
up.
to get like.
I'm feeling a lot more happier now that I'm drinking.
Yeah.
Not to
That
say
is
that
not
alcohol
to
improves
say
your mood.
yes. I feel the need to say that.
I'm just saying, also, mind everybody watching, we've been hanging out for like a good while in between all of the technical difficulties. So we've been chilling and like just like getting lit personally.
Personally lit.
So do not consider alcohol as a self-medication, por favor. Who's next? Finn or Amanda?
Amanda.
Have me go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Finn's
Well,
like,
I'm
okay.
So awkward.
Yeah, you've got to
I've been
follow me.
thinking about where to start because there's a lot to unpack, but
Mhm.
I'm only going to stick within the last probably 2 years because that's where things like really like should hit the fan.
Yeah, perfect.
So about 2 years ago, it was my second year of college. I stopped being friends with my best friend of like 10 years.
Oh, wow.
So I lost my best friend. We're not friends anymore. And then after not being friends with her, all of my other friendships stopped.
Oh, no.
So nobody wanted to be friends with me anymore.
Oh.
I went back to college and work after, I think, winter break. This is where things get really, really complicated. I should start by saying that a lot of this does have like trigger warnings for self-harm and eating disorder and sexual stuff in the workplace, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Harassment?
I would say harassment, yeah, between me and our assistant manager at work. It kind of started as like one day after I came back, he like started Snapchatting me, texting me, little touches on my back, whatever. He had a girlfriend. And me being in the like vulnerable place I was at, didn't know how to say no, so I just let stuff happen. Eventually she found out. It went really, really bad. I had threats from her. I moved literally across the country because I was so scared. And during all of that time, I was not proud of what I was doing with him. It led me to completely stop eating because I was so stressed and I couldn't control anything that was going on around me. And so I stopped eating entirely. I went from weighing like 125, 130 down to my lowest, which was, I think, 98 pounds. And then during shifts at work, I would have panic attacks when like his girlfriend would come in, and I would go into the bathroom at work, hyperventilate. I would scratch myself with a paperclip to the point where it was like really raw and bleeding. And I hid all of this for 8 months. So it was an 8-month cycle of all of this happening. During my second year of college, when I was supposed to be graduating from my community college, I did not end up graduating. I failed almost all of my classes because I wasn't going because I was so panicked. It was really, really bad. I'm like shaking. And it just, literally, I haven't recovered from it since then. It pretty much follows me every single day. Like, I can't get away from that mistake that I made. It gets reminded to me literally every single day. I had to leave my job. So I went through a month of being unemployed after that. I had literally no money. And then I ended up getting a job. I worked at a shoe place for a few months. That did not work out at all. I did become an assistant manager at a different place, and I do have a second part-time job. So things have gotten better in that department. But even now, I'm still struggling with really, really heavy suicidal thoughts. Like, even just within the last week, I still have them, no matter how hard I try. There was a point last January, my mom deployed overseas because she's in the Air Force. And I literally had this whole like suicidal plan planned out for like right after she left. But I did not do it. Obviously, since I'm still here. But that's kind of what has happened in my life. And I try to hide it from people because I'm like, nobody needs to know that I'm the other woman. And that's the worst thing I've ever done in my life. But even now, it still eats me every single day. And I'm always constantly reminded of it. So that's where I'm at. That's like all I can think of right now.
No. That's really
Okay,
tough.
thanks for sharing.
That's
Any
really
comments
tough.
or questions on that, anyone?
But I do want to say it's okay. Like, since I've been going to my therapist has told me it's okay to sometimes have those thoughts. It's what's important though is that we don't act on those thoughts. You know.
Definitely.
And I'm glad you're here too. We're both here, so it's
The
a good
biggest
thing.
thing that helped me the most was I started eating again. That's been my biggest struggle. Like going from not eating to eating something again. What people I don't think know about eating disorders is that, yeah, you need to eat, but the act of not eating and then eating again makes you sick. Like there's nothing in your stomach and then suddenly there's food there and all you want to do is throw up because your body's not used to it and it's almost rejecting the food.
And that's what they do with like refugees. Like they force them to slowly start to ingest food.
Like I'm still gaining my weight back.
And that's great that
at
you're
the
doing
most-
that.
It's the most I've weighed in 2 years. Because I think my lowest was 98 and then a few months ago I weighed 117.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thanks.
We stand a recovery queen.
Yeah.
Okay, great. All right, so moving on to Binta. Last but not least.
Round us up, Binta.
So hi, I'm Binta or Ben, and from the channel Positive Writer. I'm from Michigan, and some trigger warnings that I'm gonna be probably touching on: suicide, and then depression, basically. I think so. It's kind of started in middle school mostly because I was bullied a lot, so I kind of developed like self-hate because everybody was telling me I wasn't worth anything and that I was unattractive or whatever. So I started to believe it. And then my family life, they were all telling me that, you know, it was always a problem. I was never really a solution. I was trying to help, like they didn't really want my help. So it kind of just became me being really sad and just thinking I really didn't deserve anything good. So I started to basically let the people around me fuel what I thought about myself, which obviously is not okay. So I basically, to help myself, because in the Black community, for some reason, especially with my family and stuff, like one time I told my teacher that I wanted to kill myself, and she called my parents and everything, but I already knew that them finding out would not change anything for me, because they would just tell me that I had so much to live for or something else, and that it would not help me. So I knew I wasn't going to get a therapist or anything that was actually going to help me. So I knew that I had to kind of like deal with it alone, kind of, because I mean, I had my friends or whatever, but they didn't really care, and it wasn't really something I talked about with them. So I kind of just, basically, I was just trying to deal with it myself, and I basically, to get out of it, I had to start appreciating myself and find my own happiness instead of looking for it in other people, because I was like relying on different things in my life to make me happy, but instead I had to find different things that make me happy myself. So maybe about in like 8th grade or whatever, I basically decided that I had a lot to be thankful for and a lot to live for. So instead of being so sad and like relying on other people and just worrying about what other people were telling me, I started to just focus on the little things and like think about the things that I really did have to be thankful for in my life. And I still do that today. Like I'm not really depressed anymore. I never got diagnosed with it anyway, but I really do feel like that time in my life I was really depressed. But now I feel like, even though I might have like a suicidal thought here or there, I feel like I have a lot to live for, and just I've worked on focusing every day on like one thing that I really liked from that day. And then it helps me and gives me like something to look forward to in the beginning, like whatever, like continuing my life, because having goals and all that stuff, it really helps me and helps me like keep busy And basically just shows me that I have a lot to live for. And when I look back on that now, it's kind of like that was such a small period in my life, but it was so consuming back then. But it's just like it helped me put a lot of stuff in perspective. So I mean, anything to take away is just like, don't let other people tell you things about yourself, because like they're probably wrong, and in a couple years or whatever, especially if it's in school or something, it's not going to matter. So like just be thankful and just be happy with yourself, and that's basically all you can do.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Vinta.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
I think that's something to note. Like BookTube is filled with a lot of young people. And like if you're in high school and you know you're having a tough time about it, literally no one cares once you graduate. Yeah. Everybody that's graduated high school, like back me up. As soon as you graduate, literally no one cares.
I speak to one person I went to high school with, and that's someone that I was friends with from like birth. She's more like a sister. Mm-hmm. Everyone else, I'm just like, you know, the people that were like, you're skiving and, you know, you're just being silly. I'm like, don't even know you anymore. Like bye.
Literally bye. So like take care of yourself, because any sort of opinion that you think everybody else has that's important is literally not going to matter. So take care of yourself before you care what other people think.
I did a workshop on Booktube back in like August with kids from local high schools, and you know, a lot of them were talking about how they wanted to start YouTube channels but they were scared. And one of the things I said to them was, and it's not the most positive, but it's a good way to kind of overcome your sort of worries about doing things you want to do, and it's do what you want to do, because people are going to find a reason to pick on you or to like talk crap about you anyway. So like I'd rather have people talking crap about me for the things that I enjoy doing than me trying to fit in with what other people think I should do and then still get the crap.
Oh no, I totally agree. I came from like a small ass racist town who like honestly they knew I was gay before I knew I was gay, and they were like not having it. And so like you gotta be yourself no matter what, 100%, because like you know how many people I talked to from that high school? Like 0. Like, you know, I gotta make me happy first and foremost. And like that's what I do so much my channel. I'm always like, nobody's gonna watch this weird crap. And I'm like, you know what? But though it makes me happy. Making weird BookTube videos makes me happy, and that's what matters at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know?
Like the friend that I still talk to from high school, I genuinely was like, she's gonna hate like the thought of me doing BookTube. She's gonna think it's so cringy. And now she's like, she only watches my vlogs, but she's like, she watched my January one. She was like, Emma, I'm not in that. And I was like, okay. Like she's the sort of person I would expect to make fun of me for it, and then instead she's like, hello, get the camera out, vlog me.
I talked to 2 people from high school. One person, like back when I did BookTube, I don't know if anyone watching this knows this, but I did BookTube back when it first started in like 2011, 2012. And then when I went off to school in, yeah, I'm like OG. And then when I went off to college in the fall of 2013, I stopped doing it. And then I like came back to it after I got out. I say got out like I got out of prison.
You were in prison.
It was college. But like one of my friends has known that like I've done that since then, because like I don't think I ever posted it, but like initially it was like going to the Hunger Games premiere of the first Hunger Games movie. Like I vlogged that shit, if that tells you how old it is.
Yeah.
And then I went to her wedding this year. Like the people that matter in your life, the people that don't matter, you will literally forget. I can't name you half my graduating class, and it doesn't matter because our lives aren't connected. And they probably don't remember me, so it doesn't matter what they thought of me from 2009 to 2013.
That kind of similar, but like separate. This is like, if anyone, like, you know, like anyone with anxiety knows when something embarrassing happens and you like replay it over and over and over in your head. This is one of the only good things I took from that book that I threw over the room. Think about something embarrassing that happened to one of your friends or someone you know, and you'll probably struggle to think of something. So when you realize that actually the things that are embarrassing, no one else is going to remember, it kind of becomes less embarrassing. Yeah. Like the things that we play over like all day, every day for weeks. Like, you know, if I fell at a bus stop, I might be like, oh my god, for like weeks, like, that was so embarrassing. Whereas like the people that were there might go home and be like, this girl fell at the bus stop, and then forget about it.
Yeah, another thing that I like forgot to mention was journaling. I've been journaling since 6th grade, so I have like 15 of them. Like, it's crazy. And sometimes I just look back on them, and it kind of gets boring because I lived it, so it was like whatever. And I've reread it a whole bunch of times. But sometimes it's just good to look back and just remember where I was and how much better I am now. And it's so funny, the things that I cared about and that I was like getting all bent out of shape over. It's just like they were so stupid. I don't talk to any of those people anymore, and it was just the dumbest thing. And it's just so great to know that, because then I know that high school, however, whatever it seems like, I know that in a couple of years I'm going to be gone anyway, so it's going to be another thing like that. So I'm good, I'm happy.
I feel it. Like, yeah, when I was in high school, I was like, this is the be all and the end all. But like now that I look back at it, I'm like, why did I care so much?
Yeah.
Anyone that says high school the best 4 years of your life, like,
no,
they'll never live to see the rest of their like. It just. Life has so much more to offer, even past college. Like, like the amount of shit that you can do after even you leave college, if you even go to college. If not, you can just start like fucking living your life. And honestly, like, I respect the hell out of that, because I wish I could have done that, but I could not. It was just like a family expectation that like I go to a 4-year college, but like once you're out.
Oh, sorry. Go.
I was gonna say, but even like once you're out on your own, like the shit that you can do on your own as an adult to make your life yours. Like growing up, I never had any pets, and now I've had 11 foster doggies. So like you can make your life however you want it. So what's going on in school when you're young, it seems like the biggest thing in the world. I know we all went through that shit. We all can guarantee that's how it feels. But truly, it does not matter. Fucking
no. I think I've been out of college for like a year now. And like, while I miss college, my friends who are still in college, I look at them and I'm like, I would not do that again. No, ma'am. No, siree. No. Not doing it again.
I'm about to be out for 2 years, and I look at like all my friends that were like, what, sophomores when I graduated, and I'm like, y'all good? Like, you okay? Like, was I that bad in that college? Shit.
Oh, no, ma'am.
I think, honestly, like high school, I think a lot of people that thrive in high school, it's because they don't see past high school.
They get
stuck. Yeah, they get stuck in high school. And high school's the worst. I literally, if I took into account anything that happened in high school, like any of my friends treated me like their sidekick. Like I was a sidekick. It wasn't my movie, it was their movie. And I was like the funny, quirky, whatever sidekick.
But that's the one we all love, Cait.
Exactly. Yeah, but they don't get enough story time, Yeah, but anyway, so that happened, and like everybody in high school treated me like I couldn't sing, and so I thought I couldn't sing, and then I thought I couldn't. I was dumb. I thought I was like annoying and all this stuff. And that's, if I like listened to high school, I would think I couldn't sing and I was dumb and I was annoying and all this stuff. And like, if I believed any of that, I would not have a career right now. Like, I wouldn't have a job. I wouldn't be in a band. I wouldn't literally sing at my job every day.
Take me to church, Cait. Like, take me to church.
And ironically, that's one of their favorite songs for me to do at work. Anyway, some of the old religious songs. I'm really feeling.
Living for it.
But yeah, so like, if I listened to them, I would not have my life. But college was torture as well, because I was going through a lot. But if it wasn't for college, I don't think I would have figured out who I was.
Mm-hmm.
Especially going to a smaller college, you're able to kind of explore yourself, figure yourself out, create yourself. You have a voice, and people actually listen to it. Yeah. And so I think that was one good thing about my college. It wasn't perfect, obviously. They, sometimes.
Oh, cutting out.
Yeah. Okay. But like, it's good. What?
You cut out a little
sorry,
bit.
there was like some static. We couldn't hear what you were saying.
I was saying, like, the college, they weren't always happy about it, because I would sometimes critique them. But, it was a good, I feel like college gave me a chance to actually be listened to and to have a voice. And I think if it wasn't for college, I wouldn't have become who I am. Same.
Interesting. Yeah, my high school experience was very different than y'all, I think. I think I kind of forced myself to block all my emotions and everything. So I made myself believe I didn't care. I didn't care what anybody thought. I didn't care about being in any type of like social group or anything. I really made myself believe like, you know, it doesn't matter to me. Like none of this matters. And same with college. I carried that mentality throughout college too. And just like, my feelings don't matter. And then that made me very, I guess, almost like a psychopath.
Kevin, you are too sweet to be a psychopath. Let's not even like
because of that, like I guess it would make me like fake empathetic with other people. So I was like, oh, that's so sad, you know. Like deep down inside, I wouldn't really care. I'm like, oh, whatever, it doesn't matter. We're all gonna die anyways, or whatever. That kind of mentality. Like I was apathetic about everything. Yeah. And even with all that, even through high school, even through college, it's okay to go back and revisit those feelings and contact those feelings, because those things still live within you. So just taking your time and just sharing that with people and coming to admitting that to yourself is very important. And yeah.
I feel like my high school experience is a little bit different than a lot of people's too, because I don't know, I feel like middle school was my high school because I was really insecure and stuff and like sad or whatever. But now in high school, I hate everyone at my school. My school's really small, so like everybody's really close-minded and they all do the same stuff, but I don't. So I don't really talk to any of them, which means I don't have friends, which also means that I get better grades than I would if I was talking to people in every class. So I feel like I'm doing good out here because, you know, I feel like it's better when you don't have to worry about like friends or anything like that in your actual school, because like I know that there's so much more in the future, so I don't have to like be one of those people who uses high school as like their best time and has to like cherish all the moments because there's never going to be a better time like this. Like I don't have that mentality.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with, oh, sorry, Cait, were you going?
No, you're good. Go ahead.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with enjoying high school. I don't think that, like, you should not enjoy high school. That's not, like, you should enjoy high school. But I'm just saying,
be fun.
like, I'm just saying, don't treat it like it's the end of the world. Like, so many people do. Because I know so many people who, like, who treated high school like it's the end of the world. And, like, honestly, they have, like, very little aspirations beyond high school. So I'm not saying you don't have to have fun. Yeah. Have fun, enjoy it while you're there, but don't act like this is going to be the end of your life. That's it.
Like, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I just want to slide in here just because I saw an opportunity to preach my father's, like the thing that he lives by. Like I mentioned, my dad survived cancer. He survived it 3 times now. He's cancer-free now. So like, no worries. He's like living his life, going on like 6-mile runs and being like, it's fine. And I'm over here like, can barely finish a mile. Like, Jesus Christ.
I can't get from my bed to my desk some days.
The man loves to run and he's like living his life. But the thing that like he learned from the first time that he had cancer was he always told us like, and it sounds cheesy, but like growing up, he always told us like, just enjoy the moment, be in the moment, like live in this moment. And it sounds cheesy because you think of like all of those like dumbass songs that say that.
Yeah.
But like when I was young, I was 7, and it was on my sister's 4th birthday that he went in for surgery to remove the tumor. So like he could have ostensibly died on my sister's 4th birthday, which is sad. And like I'm tearing up, like thinking of losing my dad because it's happened like almost 3 times. But like it was from that he learned like enjoy each and every moment, even if it's not the best moment, even if it's not like the perfect moment, like find something to enjoy in that moment, because life is crazy. We can talk about it all we want, but like sometimes life throws shit at us that we never expected. And sometimes the things that we don't think will be the last and or could be the last. And so that's really important. And I'm crying and I'm going to stop talking. But like high school, still enjoy it, essentially, is what I'm saying. Like enjoy every moment. Find something to enjoy because you are on this earth for a purpose. And like the universe brought you here for a reason. So.
No, I totally agree. I told my therapist one day, like, everybody's always, like, a lot of adults, like, tell you, like, you need to wait until, like, you get this age. Wait until you get this age, and you'll finally understand it. And I absolutely loathe that, because as a depressed person, as like, a person who deals with suicidal thoughts, like, I hate that so much. And I told my therapist the other day, I was like, I can't wait for the Maris who's going to be tomorrow. I can't wait for a Maris in the future. So I have to love the Maris that I am today. And I think that's so important. We got to love who we are today while we are who we are today. And whether we make the wrong decisions or we make the right decisions, we got to be okay with who we are right now instead of waiting for somebody who's going to come, you know?
I'm literally crying right now. I'm so sorry. Ignore me. I'm taking down the microphone.
No, you're
no,
good.
it's fine. It's so fine to cry. No, that's totally reasonable.
It is.
And we've all, I say this all the time, but like, if you think about like your bad days that you've had in your life, like you survived every one of them.
Yeah.
True.
Like every day that you woken up and been like, I don't know how I'm going to get through today.
Mm-hmm.
You can think about all the other times you've said that to yourself. And I like to think about the fact that everyone who's alive, like in this moment, are survivors of every day. Like they've survived every day that has come at them, and everything that has come at them, and they've come out on the other side different, but not broken because they're still here.
Right.
And I think that that's something important to, you can at least be empowered by the fact that you survived that, you've survived this long.
That's very empowering. I always say that today is the best day ever because I've lived more days than I ever have. All right.
Damn, just send me into another stream of tears, Kev. Shit.
I'm like starting to cry too. Like
I'm literally sobbing. I'm
literally
sobbing.
Oh,
but also, like you said, Cait, even if you are broken doesn't mean unfixable. I feel like that's a quote from a book, and I can't remember what it is. But like, broken doesn't mean unfixable. Even if you feel broken, you can come back from it 100%. And you can, because think about the 7 people that you're watching right now. Like we just told you, gone through a variety of things in our lives. And here we are right now with people that we consider great friends talking about this to you to let you know that there is hope.
I'm literally pissing my mom off to be here and be like, keep going.
Sorry, Mom.
She's like in her bed and she's like, can you just say goodbye? And I'm like, no, I'm having the time of my life.
We're talking about depression up in here, Mom. I'm probably screaming and my mom's probably like, what the fuck is she talking about?
Oh, my neighbors hate me right now, just for the record.
So, Maris, your dad just needs to know if he needs creamer. I'm not over the hi dad, I can't talk now.
Creamer.
Oh, for those of you who don't know, while we were off screen, my dad called me and I was like, hi, I can't talk, and then I just hung up. I didn't even let him talk. I just was like, done.
But then he texted her and was like, you need creamer.
I think Middle Shelf said they have questions, but I don't know.
Oh yeah, let's open it up to questions then.
Oh God, I've been ignoring the chat. I'm a terrible human.
Bendy, why? Oh, I was like, why is Bendy talking about the Lunar Chronicles? It's not. She's talking about the lunar cycle, just to.
That would
two different things. Okay.
We all became friends just through BookTube. We just all started watching each other's videos and through BookTuber too.
Oh no, she is talking about the Lunar Chronicles because then she said, I think Cinder Aiko says it. She's talking about that quote. She's not talking about the movie.
I became friends with Kevin just by basically screaming in all of his chats. I just was like, hey, I love this. Hey, I love this. Hey, I love this. And that's how I became friends with Kevin.
Yeah.
Just screaming
I
at him.
became friends with Kevin before I even knew his name was Kevin.
Same.
It was just
honestly, I didn't know Maris until we started a Twitter chat to discuss this live show. Like, but like I love her now, so like she my fave. Sorry, rest of y'all.
Fine.
I think I missed the first question.
What was the first question?
Did someone cite my quote? Lunar Chronicles. Everyone's coming for me. Lunar Chronicles. Okay, thank you, everybody.
The first question was, how has being on BookTube affected your mental health, the good and the bad?
Okay, who wants to go first?
The number game sucks. because we can tell each other all day long the numbers don't matter, but on a platform that's based on numbers, we're always looking at view counts, like counts, comment counts, and it sucks. But it's really, for me personally, and I'm only speaking for myself, it's when I leave the YouTube platform and go on Twitter and start talking to people where I'm not looking at like however many likes their tweet got or something, or when I'm DMing people or something like that, where I really start to connect with people on a personal level. I don't know if that's the same for you guys, but like I almost feel like Twitter is the more sociable place than YouTube is.
Definitely. I think Twitter is definitely just more immediate. And that's why for YouTube, there's just like a disconnect because you're just waiting for the comment and then and sometimes you don't reply back to the comment. So Twitter is definitely the spot to connect.
Yeah,
I like Twitter.
Twitter to just like look up the memes and stuff. And now I have like a whole bunch of friends stuff. So yeah, I think if you have a YouTube, like a Booktube specifically, you should definitely get Book Twitter or whatever, because we be having discussions on there. People just randomly will tweet somebody, and then next you know you'll like be best friends. So like just try it out.
AKA me and Emma. I think I literally replied to one of her tweets, and like next thing I know, we're like in each other's DMs, like "What's up, bitch?" So like,
no, for real. Book Twitter's how I found Kevin. It's how I found Where in the World is Leah Jane. It's how I found Rihanna, like from Crescent Moon Reads. Like it's where I found like a lot of my friends who I consider like friends on BookTube, because I'm just like, yes, let me comment on this meme. Let me be a part of this.
Honestly, join in on the memes, because if anything, Book Twitter stands the memes.
Yeah, I love the memes.
You know how we were talking earlier about how who was it? Somebody had to force Ben. Was it Kevin? Did you have to follow? You had to force Ben to follow you on Twitter.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he like harassed him.
Look who just followed me on Twitter.
Because
with no forcing
on so many like comments, he was commenting.
I am the true.
I'm like, why doesn't this fool follow me?
I was going to bring it up earlier. I was going to call him out
in the middle of this live show because I was trying to tag her, and I was like, "Why the fuck do I not follow her? She's amazing."
Yeah.
Like
Evan
honestly,
sometimes I random ass girl with the same name as me that wasn't me on all the like promo tweets. Emma Fader XXX, and I'm like, who the fuck is this bitch?
For anyone that's out of the loop, so Kevin was tweeting the image that we've been using to promote this live show. And so he was tagging each and every one of us, right? So he was tagging me, Ben, Amanda, or no, not Amanda, because you had like Dylan, whoever, everybody.
Yeah.
But then he got to Emma, and I think he typed in like the first like 3 or 4 letters of her username, but then tagged some other person who was private, and we had no idea who the hell she was. And
I'm Emma Ferrier X. He was tagging Emma Ferrier X.
So we were all tweeting her like, sorry, you're not expected to come to a live show. Don't worry.
Wait, but what if us uninviting her has made her feel really bad about herself?
Oh no.
I feel bad for fellow Emma Ferrier.
Someone find the tweet. I'm sure it's still there.
When I saw
that, the tweet.
When I saw that, I thought like, because the fact that there's 3 X's, I was like, maybe that's like Emma's dirty account where she posts all that.
Yeah, because I looked at that like
mental health conversation. Honestly, they can contribute.
Come back, it ruined them, Emma.
Oh my gosh,
I love it.
I didn't
playing. Bow, bow, bow. I'm annoying.
I think so with the BookTube and the mental health question, I wanted to say, like, someone one time was asking, like, what do you do when you feel like your numbers have gotten like flat, you know, like when your subs are kind of stagnant, your views are stagnant, interactions are stagnant. And is my face not showing up? I feel like it's not.
Anyways, no, babe, you're showing up. You're fine.
Sorry. Anyway, and so, and I told them, like, when I notice that and I feel that way, I just kind of step back from paying attention to my channel, and I try to like feed into other channels. Like I like to, and I go and support people that I'm already connected with. I make sure I'm answering their comments. I go and actually like contribute to to new people, and I find that that's the growth comes with that. The growth comes with the connections. So you know, obviously, don't do the commenting and the watching and all that stuff just because you're like, oh, if I talk to them, they'll watch my channel or they'll subscribe to my channel. But like, if you support people and you grow connections, growth is going to come with that, because people are going to want to support you and they're going to want to tell their friends about you or just or mention you and things like that. And it kind of is hand in hand. If most people had joined this because they want to connect with other people, And that's a really, really good way to do it, is to make sure if you find that you're flat, are you contributing to somebody else? Are you helping anybody else grow?
Yeah.
Right.
I think it's important to have stands too. Like people who are constantly commenting on yours and you guys are just like, because like when I get like people who have like a very low view count on my things and I feel really bad about it, I'm like, why didn't this do well? I always have like the Snow White reader. She comments on all my videos and like I don't know why, but
I love her. Oh my god.
Like honestly, every time Hannah comments, I'm just like, thank you, Hannah. I feel recognized, and then it doesn't matter how many view counts I get. Like when she does it, when my friend Brittany does it, like it doesn't matter how much view count I get because I'm like, I've got my stands with me.
Yes.
Like they love me, and that's what's important, you know.
Yes. And to piggyback off of that, I just know that, you know, however many subscribers you have, 150 or 300 or 500 or whatever, like 100 people is a lot of people. And I always think about this to myself. I all right now, all the smaller YouTubers and booktubers right now that we're all friends with, that we're all in our circle, like I just want to deepen our friendships like that we have right now. And once we grow more, we're not going to be able to maintain that anymore. So the friends that we have right now could be the more important friends for the long term.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Like you'll notice some of the big booktubers, they're not able to reply to every single comment. Like I started around the same time as Jessie the Reader, who literally now like fucking rules BookTube, but like we started around the same time back in like 2012, and like we've kept up together and like we're still super tight because when we were super small, we really invested in those relationships. Even though he fucking like lives and I'm just like in the back like, yay! Like I have nothing to contribute. But like
on the sort of opposite of that.
One second. I have to go to the bathroom so bad. I've been holding for it.
Maris, go to the bathroom. OMG.
1 second. BRB, continue.
Okay. But I was also going to say, because I have the unique experience of being on BookTube when it first started and then coming back to it after taking time off to like work on my education. Like the people that I met in like 2012, I still text on a daily basis. So while we're all here for like kind of to play the numbers game and to just like engage with people, and while the numbers game is always in the back of our head, I'm never thinking about the fact of numbers when I'm texting this group chat of like 5 people that I've been texting for literally 5 years straight. Like the whole reason we're here is to meet people that share our mutual love, and then we grow relationships from that. And like honestly, that becomes the most important thing, even if you don't expect it to, since we all are on here to play a numbers game.
Absolutely.
But like I guarantee I'm gonna be annoying the shit out of Ben in like 3 years when he posts like some shit meme about Red Queen, and I'm gonna comment and be like, still haven't read it, bitch, and he's gonna be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like on the back of like going back to like feeling or I can't even think at this point. It's 2 a.m. I'm allowed a brain fart.
Did you go to the bathroom that quickly, Maris?
Yeah, I mean
it's okay.
Am I being called out for how fast I pee?
Yeah, so like for me, when the numbers thing gets a bit too much, what I like to do is I go to like my favorite channels like Kevin, Vendy, Becca from Pistachio Paperbacks. They all have less subscribers than me, and it's just quite sort of a good reminder and kind of humbling. Like, you know, the numbers are, you know, the YouTube algorithm sucks. You know, these people should have way more than they do have, and it just kind of makes me feel a bit better. Like, okay, like, you know, maybe like it's not me that's a problem. It's just YouTube not sharing shit.
Yeah, and YouTube's algorithm is fucked. It shares what's the most viewed. So as soon as someone pulls ahead of the game, they're going to stay ahead of the game. So unless you manage to pull ahead of the game, which there's so fucking many of us that YouTube doesn't know what to do with us. So it kind of ignores us. And we're one of the smaller communities on YouTube. The gaming community, the beauty community, everybody's fucking bigger than us on YouTube. So at some point, you just got to say fuck it to the numbers and just, you know, interact who you want to interact with and support who you want to support.
Christine's like the biggest YouTuber, and she's got what, 400, 500,000 subscribers?
Yeah,
That's
half
like-
a million. Whereas some of the most like
The bigger ones have millions and millions. So even even people like when we hit like 1K, that's a small number in the like realms of BookTube in general. But in BookTube, that's like decent.
yeah,
know what I mean?
that's like a huge milestone in BookTube.
Yeah,
Literally,
like,
like-
at least like 5 million or something for half a million.
Yeah.
It's like the equivalent of hitting your first million.
Yeah.
Because there's not that many of us here, let's be real. Like, it's grown. Honestly, when I first started, there were like 100 of us maybe, and we were all subscribed to each other, so we were all like stagnant at 100 subs for the longest fucking time, and we were like, who the fuck else can subscribe to us so we can up our fucking numbers?
Yeah.
But like, the amount that it's grown, like, even then, we haven't matched any other community. So you have to keep it all relative. Like, none of us are going to be like PewDiePie or Superwoman.
Yeah.
None of us. No
I can't
matter
wait
how
for that.
amazing we are.
We have a
Like
new
screw
question.
PewDiePie. We're getting because he got like a personalized plaque from YouTube. So I want there to be a booktuber who gets a personalized plaque in the shape of a book. That is like my life goal. That's my goal now. I can't die until I get that. Everyone get making accounts.
Folded ones. We have a new question. It says, "What fiction books have y'all read where you saw your mental illness represented?"
Can I run and grab the book real quick?
Yes,
I'm
go
right
ahead.
by my bookshelf. I'm
talk-
about to turn around.
I'll talk while you do that. Okay, so I have a book club, and I don't know if all you know that, but I have a book club called the Green Ribbon Book Club, and we read books that have mental illness representation. So I've read several. If you want to check us out on Twitter, I think it's Green Ribbon BC. That's what it is. Here, I'll type it. It's Green Ribbon BC. I think.
Follow them on Twitter. They're amazing.
Yes, and we do right now. We're reading Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom for this month and next month.
Where is it?
And but we try to like read a variety of diagnoses. I don't know.
Mars in the background is just destroying your brain.
But the ones where I have seen myself represented the most are A Tragic Kind of Wonderful with bipolar disorder, and oddly enough, like not one that's known for mental health, but there's a Lost Boy by Christina Henry. The main character like has pretty like intense PTSD, and I noticed that. So
this is on my TBR this month. Good to know.
Yeah.
Hey, Marius, are you okay? You're kind of aggressively attacking book piles. I was getting very worried about you.
I couldn't find it, but then I found it.
Oh, that's on my TBR.
Is that Mosquito Land?
Yes.
Oh my god, you're
Okay,
so excited.
So I love this book so much. Oh my gosh, I love this book so much. Because so this book that has the most perfect line ever. It says that a thing is not a thing unless it's said out loud. And I feel that in my soul. Oh my gosh. So this is the book. Yes. Read it, love it.
Oh my goodness. Who else has one? Because I don't think Maris can communicate her feelings right now.
Mine's a little bit controversial and not known for mental health or anything either. But it's Tower of Dawn by Sarah J. Maas. Because
we stand.
Because, you know, even if you don't like the book, I mean, my favorite character, it's like a novella about one of the characters from the first few books or whatever. And basically he's like dealing with a lot of self-hate and like depression, and like he basically doesn't really want to live anymore. He's really numb. But basically the whole book is like him accepting himself and like acknowledging that he did bad things or that some things were bad in his past, but he's like moving past it. And it just has so many lines about like healing and like just being happy and just moving forward. I just died a little bit and cried after I finished it because it was so close to my own life. I was really going through it.
You're gonna make me read Throne of Glass, aren't you, Ben? I haven't read it yet, but you're gonna make me.
I'm gonna make you read.
I just might. After this, I've never read anything Sarah J. Maas, but I might after this.
Honestly, TBH same.
She's good.
Like I heard that what's it called? Dark Artifices. I saw on Tumblr that one of their characters in there was demisexual, and I was like, I swear to, like on Twitter, I was like, I swear to God, if anyone confirms this, I swear I will read this series. And then someone confirmed it, and I'm like, son of a bitch, now I gotta read that whole series.
Which series is it?
Dark Artifices, I think Julian Blackthorne is Demi. I think that was confirmed.
Oh my gosh, I might have to read it then.
Honestly, same. Okay, who else has one? Cait, do you have one, or am I crazy? Did you leave?
I did. I said what?
Oh no, you said yours. You said yours.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm crazy. Emma had one.
I'm just gonna hug it. Literally, right. I saw the musical in October. Oh, my heart. The book. Just getting properly inside Evan's head, like this kid, his anxiety levels, like the way he talks about it is so like me as well, because like he kind of deals with it sort of, he tries to be humorous to get through it, and I was just like, this is me, and I just love him to like absolute pieces. I didn't even tab it that much because I was just reading it too much, but just the way that he like run like the sentences when he's like describing something, when he goes into a panic, it's just like a page with like no like punctuation. I'm like, this is me, and I just love this.
Mm-hmm. That was on my list for this year for the Green Ribbon Book Club.
I have one that doesn't get associated with mental illness a lot, but it's the first time that I ever saw anxiety rep come up, and it's By Your Side by Casey West, which is like a trash romance. Like anyone who's read Casey West knows that she's kind of trash and kind of problematic at some points. But like these two kids get stuck in a library over a long weekend when it's snowing, so they have no fucking way out. They're snowed in, they're locked in. And the girl has an anxiety disorder, and she does have a panic attack at some point in here, trigger warning. But I think it's done really well, and the guy that she's with does handle it really well. And that's the first time that I really saw my mental illness in a character, even if it wasn't like specifically like a mental health book, if you know what I'm saying. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Totally. So cute, and like you can read it in an afternoon if you like, but back on the shelf she goes.
You have one, Amanda?
I have a couple actually.
Okay.
I saw you leave, Amanda. I was like,
I did.
Back.
I have 3 that I like think are kind of underrated that people don't really talk about. One of them is The Running Dream, mainly because the main character goes through something that I felt very personal to because I am a runner, and this book impacted me a lot. I cried so much reading it. And then the other one, which is kind of controversial, is Girl in Pieces. This one I read kind of at the height of everything that was going on in my life, and I related a lot to this book, especially with the character's relationship that she has. And then the other one is Paperweight. This one was one that I didn't see anyone else have the same type of association with food and something going on in their life. Like she connected food, like a certain food, to something that was going on, which is what I did. I was connecting.
What is the last one?
Paperweight.
Oh, okay.
It's about
that was so good.
Mm-hmm.
That book was so good.
She connects what she was eating at the time to like the tragic event in her life, which I did the same thing because I was working at actually Pizza Hut when this happened, and my favorite thing to eat there was the chicken Alfredo pasta. So every time I tried to eat that, I was connecting it to the situation that I was in. So I related very, very heavily to that.
It's amazing what your brain can connect, like when it comes to smells or tastes.
It still sometimes does it, and it'll like make me nauseous, and I'll have to stop eating. It still happens a lot, but I just have to like push through it.
Did everybody share their book?
Yeah.
I think we did. Did you have one, Kev, that you
I have
share?
one.
Okay.
Mine is Letters to a Young Poet by Luca. He's a German-Austrian author, so it's a translated work. And I read this a long time ago, but I just remember like it really, because I sort of numbed myself in high school and even college and stuff, it just really taught me like how to come in contact with all my feelings and stuff, because it really teaches you how to own your feelings. And these are all just letters that he writes to an aspiring writer. So this is good for writers too. And yeah, just how to deal, how to own your solitude and take back your power from everything that you feel, and just really just get in touch with all the deep-seated, like subconscious feelings inside of yourself. And that's what this book has helped me do.
That was a good question.
I do want to say something about that real quick. because I'm planning on doing a Booktubers recommend books with mental illness representation video soon, because specifically for like to post on also on the book club page that I have. But I really wanted to do that because I feel like a lot of people have a lot of different, recommendations there, and so if anybody wants to
Yeah, totally.
be involved,
I'll slide
in
into
that,
your DMs, Kate. Don't worry.
Go ahead. I'm probably gonna post about it.
Watch me just being like, what?
Yeah, because
Yeah,
this is
you
a good
can,
time to say it.
We're just gonna continue this group chat that we've got right now.
Yes.
Yeah, you can message me that stuff, and I'll put it in the description too if you want.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. I think we're gonna wrap it up now because it's been a while. It's late.
Thank you everyone for sticking with us through technical difficulties.
Totally.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Because we know it is not easy waiting.
Yeah. Thank you everyone for being here. And I think everybody, all the hosts here are, I'm assuming maybe, but I'm not sure if you guys are open to taking DMs from anybody here, just if they need help or anything.
Absolutely.
Always.
Yeah.
I love a good gossip.
Cool.
DM
Yeah,
me
you're
away.
welcome. You're welcome to DM any of us, and we're here to listen and talk to you guys. And also, how are you guys feeling about me leaving this footage on for people to watch, or do you want me to
I'll leave it. It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
Okay.
We can document me eating a whole pizza.
Like they can just see me crying in the first video. Like,
You think I'm joking? I have one slice.
We can count how many
finishing a bottle
drinks Kerri
of
actually
virgin
has.
anybody who wants to watch it for a second time around can like take shots every time Maris cries. Just be like, it's every day.
Oh, that's a drinking
drink
game I will
Kerri.
play.
No, drink every time Kerri complains about the dog putting pizza in the.
There's pizza in my couch. Guys, there's pizza in my couch. All right, I'll let Kevin end this. Hold on, I'll shut up.
I will leave everybody's information down below as far as the hosts go. And you guys can follow all these people, all their Twitters, all their YouTubes. They're all wonderful, beautiful, amazing people. And yeah, thank you all for coming today.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Yep. Anybody else want to say anything?
Take care of yourself.
Team Neverland's going to win the BookTube games, just saying.
Wow, fight me, Emma. Okay.
I read 567 pages.
I just invite you to look at the averages and then look at Camp Half-Blood.
Who has more people, though?
Okay, but who's got the higher average? Okay, sorry. Me and Emma are going to continue this on Twitter. We can end this.
All right, guys. Take care of yourselves. I love you all. Take care.
Bye. Take care of yourselves, guys. Bye. Enjoy it.